Hello and welcome, our dear students, the third stage of the Department of English. Hello and welcome again. This is a continuation for the lectures that we already started in the second course, and yes, we are working within the seventh unit of your book, The Study of Language by Giorgio. And actually, in the previous lectures, or the last lecture, we dealt with the parts of speech. And we said that those terms are taken from Latin and Greek. Why? Because the English language is heavily affected by Latin and Greek. So all those grammatical descriptions, parts of speech, are taken from Latin and Greek. And yes, we have given some definitions or some explanations for those terms. And actually, the last thing we discussed, yes, we started with what's known to be agreement. So what is agreement in the grammatical description? Simply, agreement is the relation or the mechanism or the way of connecting those items within the English sentence. How those items are connected within the English sentence. This is discussed within agreement. And actually, we have some items of agreement. We have certain items of agreement within the English sentence. We have agreement in number, agreement in person, agreement in tense, agreement in voice, as well as agreement in gender. So in number, agreement in number. Yes, agreement in number. In the English system of numbers in English is composed of two: singular as well as plural. Singular and plural. It's different from the system of numbers in Arabic, which is composed of three. In Arabic, we have singular, a dual, and plural. So in the English system of numbers, it's one, and what's next is plural. We don't have two in the system. We mean and this, for example, we mean by this, for example, in Arabic we say anta, antuma, antum. Okay, we have singular anta, dual antuma, and plural antum. While in English it is singular, you for the singular, and you for the plural. We don't have a dual. So within the English sentence, okay, we have just singular and plural. We don't have a dual. In person, yes, we will see here what's meant by person. So here, as you can see here, okay, yes, you have singular or plural. This is agreement and number. In terms of person, Okay, we have first person, for example, first person singular, first person singular, that is I. Second person singular, you, and second person plural is you. While the third person singular, we have he, she, and it. The plural, the third person plural, we have they. So we have agreement. We have agreement within the English sentence. Okay, for example, when I say Kathy loves chocolate. Kathy, okay, can be replaced by the pronoun she. So she loves chocolate. Or maybe here, Kathy loves her dog. It's different from I love without this s. So this agreement between the noun and the verb. Okay, this is agreement of person. Okay, so Kathy here is the third person singular. Okay, within the structure. Okay, so it should be okay, this verb should be connected with that s, that is the third person singular, and actually it takes place in the present simple, in the present simple. This is person. Okay, the third item is the tense. We have tenses English. Okay, the present tense is different from the past tense as well as the future tense. For every tense we have a certain structure in which the parts of a speech are connected. Okay, so Kathy loved, it's different from loves. Okay, this is the okay, in the present, while she loved, okay, it is in the past. So agreement, we have also agreement of tense. Yes, we have also agreement in voice. We have active voice and passive voice. I would say Kathy loves chocolate. Okay, and I would say chocolate is loved by Kathy. It's different. Okay, it is different. So we have here agreement in voice. The active voice is different from the passive voice. The last thing here is that we have agreement in gender. Agreement in gender. And actually here in the grammatical description, okay, as we will see here, we have a grammatical gender. It's different from natural gender, that is male and female. Okay, male and female, male and female. For example, here we have entities, female entities, a reference for female, while here we have a reference for males, reference for males. Okay, he and his. Okay, it's different. Okay, these are used for male. Okay, to identify male items, while this okay, is used to identify female. Okay, so we have here also agreement in gender. Okay, agreement in gender. Okay, we'll come next to the grammatical gender. Okay, it's different from male and female. Okay, grammatical description use masculine and feminine. grammatical description uses masculine and feminine. Okay, and I'll give you here an example in Arabic just to make it somehow more clear. I mean the idea. For example, in Arabic we say هذا قمر, and we say هذه شمس. Okay, so qamar here, qamar is in Arabic, it is masculine, or it refers to somehow male. But in grammatical description I have to say masculine. Okay, while the sun in Arabic it has a feminine description. Okay, in English it may be different. So every single language has its way of describing things as masculine and feminine. And actually in other languages, as we will see here later, okay, we have a neutral reference. There's no masculine or feminine, okay, reference. It's a neutral, as in some other languages. Okay, we don't have a specific reference, so they would say neutral reference. And I'll give you an example here just to simplify. Okay, in English I would say, so as an example, in English I would say handsome boy. Okay, handsome boy. While I would say beautiful girl. Why not handsome girl or beautiful boy? No. Okay, we have what's called grammatical gender. It's different from natural gender. It's different from, and actually this example exemplify or explain what's meant by grammatical gender. Okay, yes, we can see here, we should emphasize that this gender distinction is not based on a distinction in sex. A young girl is biologically, you see this, this is a maybe explain more better. Okay, a young girl is biologically female. Okay, yes, we know. Okay, girl is biologically a female. But in German noun, okay, this word is in German. I'm not sure of the pronunciation. Mädchen. Okay, used to talk about her is grammatically neuter. So there's no gender whether it is male or female. Okay, this is in German. This is in German, neuter or neutral. Okay. Also the French noun le livre. Okay, the book. Yes, in French. Okay, the book is grammatically masculine. And actually in Arabic, yes, we say هذا كتاب. We didn't say هذه كتاب. Yes, the same with the French. But neither we nor the French people consider a book to be biologically male. Okay, So the grammatical gender is different from the biological or natural gender. Okay. The next section is the traditional analysis. And actually, what's meant by the traditional analysis, how those languages and those languages, they mean, yes, Greek and Latin languages, how do they describe the structures or the items within the sentences. Okay, so here, for example, we have an example here. The verb ama, which means this is in Latin. This verb is in Latin. So this is an example of how the Latin language, okay, describe the verb to love. Okay, so here, okay, amo, amas, amat, amamus, amatis, amat. Okay, while in English it is the same, except here we have a small difference. But you see, okay, this is according to what? According to the pronouns they connected to. Okay, according to the pronouns connected. So yes, it is somehow another way of saying that the traditional or the old description or the Latin and Greek description is not always suitable for the English language. It's not suitable for the English language. Yes, each of the Latin verb forms is different, yes, according to the categories of the person and number. Yet in English, yes, in English it is the same, yes, except this. It makes sense in describing a language such as Latin to have all those descriptive categories to characterize verb forms, but they don't really describe verb forms in English. Okay, so they are not suitable. Okay, yes, it's different in other languages, but in the English language, okay, we have the same description. So it makes more sense to say the categories describe different pronouns. Okay, so those categories describe different forms of pronouns. Yes, the last phrase is, okay, the influence of Latin goes beyond the types of descriptive labels. Okay, so we cannot apply the Latin description, the Greek or Latin description. Okay, our next item is the prescriptive approach. What's meant by the prescriptive approach in English? Okay, it is setting some rules or strict rules, and every learner of the English, okay, including native speakers actually, okay, indigenous speakers of the same language, they should follow strictly those rules. They should not violate those rules. This is what's meant by prescriptive. You must follow those rules of grammar if you want if you want a proper English sentence. So they set some rules, those grammarians, okay, in the 18th century, okay, actually, yes, and this is actually for the proper use of English. So they set a set of rules, and those new learners of English or native speakers should follow those rules if they want their speech to be appropriate, okay, or if they want to produce well-formed grammatical sentences in English. So we have a set of rules, and those learners or speakers should follow those rules. This is what's meant by prescriptive, which means a command, or you must. They oblige people to follow those rules, okay. And we have some examples. You must not split, and you see, you can see those, and yes, they are now they are used. We can see in some grammatical, in some grammar books, we can see those some of those rules. You must not split an infinitive, or you must not end a sentence with a preposition. Now in some written work by a well-known speakers, yes, we can see some phrases here and there in which we can split, we can disconnect infinitive, which means to plus main verb. So according to this rule, you cannot split an infinitive. But now we can see this connection in some written works here and there. There's a disconnection between the to preposition and the main verb, as we will see later. You must not end a sentence with a preposition. So these are strict rules and should be followed according to the prescriptive approach, should be followed if you want a proper sentence in the English language. And yes, we have here some examples. Okay, according to the traditional teachers and those who follows the prescriptive approach, sentence like "Who did you go with?" Who did you go with? Into, they change, those traditional teachers, they change it into "With whom did you go?" With whom did you go? Making sure that the preposition "with" was not at the end of the sentence. So here, we can see here, the preposition "with," at the end of the sentence. Who did you go with? So they, in their view, should this sentence should be corrected into "With whom did you go?" With whom did you go? So as not to end the sentence with a preposition. Another example: Mary runs faster than me. This sentence, according to traditional teachers, is corrected to "Mary runs faster than I." So instead of me here, it should be according to their view. Me and my family, would certainly have to be corrected to "My family and I." my family, and I. Okay, as we have seen at the beginning of this chapter. Another example here is the okay, one of those strict rules. Okay, and in a proper English writing, one should never begin a sentence with "n." Never begin a sentence with "and." Okay, but now in most recent written works of English, yes, we can see "and" at the beginning of sentences. Okay, so and even those traditional teachers, okay, would label somebody who does not follow those rules as a poorly educated. Okay, someone who does not apply those rules, who does not follow those rules, would be labeled as a poorly educated. So they try to oblige people to follow those rules. Okay, and actually yes, we have here, it's worth considering the origin of some of these rules. So most of those rules are taken from Latin and Greek. Most of those rules are taken from Latin and Greek. You see here, we have to consider the origin of those rules before applying them to our language. Okay, and in this section we have got an example of one of those rules and how they dealt with they dealt with in grammatical description, and how they found a solution to actually how they try to make people try to avoid this rule. Okay, you must not split an infinitive that's to plus a main verb. Okay, should not be disconnected. Yes, they try to find a solution to moderate, or to find a solution for not obliging people to follow this rule. Okay, we will stop here, inshallah, and we will continue in the next lecture, inshallah. See you, inshallah, in the next lecture, and goodbye.